We have a featured artist, and it's been a couple of weeks since we had one. This is welcome to the show, Abby Sevcik.
Abby Sevcik. Excellent.
Abby Sevcik.
There it is, yeah.
So Abby is in D.C. She went to Iowa, right? Are you originally from Iowa?
I am, yeah. Go Hawks.
Cool. So now you're in D.C. and you're signed with Chrome City Records, and we've been helping you promote one of your new singles, and decided it was time to make you a featured artist. So first, before I let you introduce yourself and your new video, I want to say that I can do almost all the moves that you did in the video, the dance. Almost.
Good. So. Just a little bit of practice, I'm sure.
So normally what I do is if you're walking down the street and somebody says, oh, you're a musician, what's your music like? Can you just tell us briefly about what you're doing and then intro your video for Open Windows, Closed Doors?
Yeah, that is such a hard question to ask because I love so many genres and I love doing so many genres. So I've dabbled in a couple. Lately, I've just been saying singer-songwriter because I think that that's pretty indicative of everything that I've been doing. Because I think the root of it is the ability to kind of craft songs that work best for, your specific style. So, but yeah, I have a lot of jazz influences. I love singing jazz. I do a couple of EDM stuff. And then I'm also in like an indie rock band. So, cool. I hesitate to use the word pop just because that insinuates that my music's popular, but you can't say that about yourself. So, but I would say, in the indie pop scene is kind of where I put my individual stuff. So.
All right, cool. So briefly, just tell us what we're going to see when it's Open Windows, Closed Doors. Are you in the video?
I am not. My sorority sister, Kathleen Fallon, is actually the choreographer.
Okay.
She found the two dancers who were incredible, Shannon Hartle and Brettlin Taylor. And so they do all the dancing because that is not my forte. I leave that to them. But they did a beautiful job. So the song itself just kind of lent itself to some storytelling. And I thought that would be best done from some outside perspective. So to have them kind of demonstrate their art using my song was just so special. And I think they got it. All three of them nailed it. And then having the videographer, Talon Anderson, he's kind of like a little local celebrity back home in Iowa. So cool. To get him on the job. So it was nice incorporating some Iowa, fellow Iowa Hawkeyes, get some community involvement there. And it ended up being a really cool project.
Yeah, it's really, really cool. It's really stuck out to me. So we're going to listen to the song Open Windows, Closed Door, watch the video, and then we're going to come back and get deeper with Dave.
Oh, yeah.
Doesn't feel like yours. Just a big house, open windows, closed doors. So when is it time to say I'm done? To get off the stage and back to where it all begun. Just giving up on a dream, giving up.
So right now we're going to do the Deeper with Dave segment. Get ready, folks. Deeper with Dave. Deeper with Dave. Oh, yeah.
Sponsored by...
Who were in deep.
Abby. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we're already in deep. So,
We're here. Yeah.
just, I don't know what to tell you. Let's just bust into it.
Yeah.
I got some quick rapid fire questions, almost like,
I'm ready.
inside the actor's studio. I don't know. Let's just jump in.
Yeah.
University of Iowa or University of Illinois?
Iowa. No question.
Wrong answer. University of Illinois. That's where I went to
Come
school.
on. You
That's
know
where I went to school.
it was going to be.
Next question. So, Hootie and the Blowfish or the Beatles?
Oh. Ooh, I'm going to get a lot of flack for this, but Hootie.
Wrong answer. The correct answer is pass because you worked with Mark Bryan. There is no correct answer there. There's nothing you could say there. You're like you're stuck in the middle. There's nothing you can do. All right, where do we go next here? I'm curious about something, Abby.
Okay.
So you graduate, you start working at the Carnegie Institution for Science.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden you sign with a label, and then you're a musician and you're going to start a music career. Like, can you explain that, please?
Yeah. The music career has been a pretty consistent thing. I've tried to find a way to just, have that be my passion no matter what I was doing. So whether it was being a student or getting a grown-up job, trying to adult. But I do have a day job that is at Carnegie Institution for Science, and I do event planning there. So it's kind of nice because we get a lot of weddings there, and I do kind of throw in the, hey, if you need a wedding singer, let me know. But so yeah, I mean, it's
cross-pollination.
Yes,
Right.
there you go. Maybe a conflict of interest, but who cares? But as musicians, there's not a whole lot of money when you're starting off, so it's nice to have a day job that's kind of flexible and kind of allows you to have something to finance your dream. So, but I've kept up with the music thing for as long as I can remember, really. And then when I moved out to DC a year ago, I got in touch with Mark from Chrome City Records, and I've been signed with them for about a year now. And I was honestly pretty skeptical going in with the whole, record label thing. You hear some stuff going into the industry. I lived in Nashville for a while, and you hear some horror stories about Nashville labels.
Been there, done that.
Oh yeah, you guys know. But Mark was just so reassuring, and he was more about enabling other artists to pursue their dreams than he was about like owning them, so he's just been nothing but supportive, and so it doesn't feel like I'm signed in the sense that I'm like locked down in any way. I just feel like I'm kind of a part of a cool community that's been encouraging me and kind of helping me.
There's kind of a rule of thumb. I mean, don't sign a record deal with a guy who has a comb over and a cheap suit.
Yeah, there was a few of those.
Yeah, I mean, they kind of lurk.
So check.
No, they lurk in the shadows in Nashville for sure. They just like jump out of an alley with a contract in hand and a pen. Like, I can make you famous. Here's $100.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay, so is this your? How many albums have you created?
So my first real, album that had like multiple songs on it was a couple years ago, and it was an EP called Four Keeps. We recorded that in Nashville. My good friend Dylan Burns actually helped me put that one together. It started off as he was an audio engineer technician major, and it was just kind of his class project. And then
Dylan Burns. Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
Never heard of him.
Yeah. I was gonna say he's up and coming for sure. So we just kind of worked on it more and more, and he's like, "Do you mind if we put this on iTunes?" So we went for it, and it was pretty well received. So that kind of opened the door to a couple different opportunities after that. And then just since then, it's been a few singles that have come out. So we're working on a full-length album right now. So hopefully we'll have that done by early next year. But we do have a single coming out at the end of next month. So
all right, is this going to challenge you? So hopefully you're ready for it. Talk about your musical life from age 7 to 17. Thank you very much.
Oh my goodness, 7 to 17 feels like so long ago. Well, 7 is a good place to start. I started writing around that time, and it was mostly just Destiny Child rip-off songs, nothing. There was one that was basically Survivor, but it was called On a Mission. Not my best work.
That's awesome.
But yeah, so I basically started making my mom suspicious when I would come down to our little toy piano and start plunking out stuff that I heard on the radio. And Bye 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 by NSYNC was definitely my jam.
Sure.
So she's like, maybe we need to get this girl into piano lessons. So I started that around age 7, was writing, random stuff as soon as I knew enough to do that, playing by ear. So then it just was like a series of random shows, and, performing at like little coffee shops. And then I guess to kind of leave off from the very specific timeline you allowed me, 17 when I decided to move out to Nashville to start college, but also to kind of launch my music career out there too.
So what happened out there? Why'd you leave?
I mean, I loved it. I was going to a school that wasn't necessarily the right fit for me. So I loved the city though. So even after I left the school, I went back and tried to make it work, and I met some amazing people while I was there. So absolutely no regrets. I just think for the certain genre that I was trying to do, it wasn't necessarily the perfect city for me. I would move back in a heartbeat if that were to, there were more opportunities for what I was trying to do.
Okay, so it sounds like your parents supported your artistic,
they did,
excursions, which is great.
Yeah, no, I was totally expecting them to be like, no, go to college and get a, traditional degree. But they were so gung-ho about, follow where your passion's going to take you. We'll support you.
Yeah, we've had some artists on the show where it's like they had none. Like everyone around them, they were just like, what are you doing? This is a pipe dream, just get back to work. You're wasting time. Yeah. I mean, that's stuff I like to touch on here and there, just because that's hard to break through that stuff. If that's just like the greatest passion in your life, and everyone around you is like, no.
Yeah. And being your only cheerleader.
Yeah.
I mean, I know some people who've struggled with that too. And then just trying to justify what they want to do to so many people. It can be tough. For sure.
All right, so present day. I was a little discombobulated watching this video with the pretty girls dancing around and everything. I mean, it was hard.
They are pretty.
I was sweating. I was doing this. But
see, Dave left his apartment last week to move.
I had to move. Move around. But this, Abby, this is a beautiful song. I mean, you have a very beautiful voice. The production on this and the engineering was spectacular.
Yeah.
I mean, I
had some amazing people working on this song.
Yeah, give them a shout out. Who is it?
Yeah, Blue Room Productions. Thank you so much. My friend Dylan again worked on this one with me.
Dylan.
Yeah, Dylan. We know who that is now. Kai, his name's Justin Abahai, but Kai, he's an up and coming producer. He's got some amazing stuff out. So not only is he kind of making his own name for himself right now as a singer, but he's also been doing a lot of producing. So to be able to have his name on that too. And then
I mean, it's hard to create like a really moving mood when you're listening to music. I mean, it really takes a lot of concentration, from the engineering standpoint.
Absolutely.
Because, especially you're coming in, you're singing, you're kind of explaining the vibe you want to create, but to really move somebody when they're listening, that's pretty rare, and I've definitely felt it in this song. So good job to you and your whole team on this.
Yeah, they're awesome.
But yeah, so where can people find you? I guess on social media. Let's start with that.
Yeah, so I'm on Instagram, Facebook, all that. Facebook is typically where I, keep all the show updates and everything. So that's a good place to check out. Chrome City Records, my record label, they do a really good job at keeping people posted on what I'm up to. So yeah, there's a couple shows that I have coming up. I'm performing with my band Mystery Friends at Rock and Roll Hotel DC, which is just a quick jaunt from 930 Club, which I know you guys are familiar with. So
absolutely, yeah.
We've got our eyes on the prize.
Yeah, so Abby, we've been doing this almost, about 2 years now, and it's like one of the greatest joys is when we kind of touch base with so many artists that, are just, it's almost like a documentary. This show is almost like a documentary. It's like we're following the path of so many artists' careers. We would love to have you back and, and check in on your career, maybe 6 months or so, just see where you're at, new music and everything. But thanks so much for coming by.
It's been so fun. Thank you so much for having me on.